Hey guys, what's going on? It's Microwave. Today we got our patch notes for the upcoming mid-season reinforcement patch for the game Rainbow Six Siege. I'm gonna go down the list and give some of my opinions on the whole patch notes, so let's get right into it. Obviously the biggest change that we were given is the Glaz update where he now has a thermal scope. This allows him to see through the smoke, which gives him a tactical advantage over the enemy. According to the story, he lost a sniper competition to Galanos, which is an operator from Greece that was in the game Rainbow Six 3 Raven Shield. Here's a little backstory on her. You can go ahead and pause the screen if you're interested in that kind of stuff. They provided a picture of Glaz with her training with his new scope. Now some of you guys are probably wondering, what's that written on the side of her spotter there, Microwave? Well, it appears to be ELDYK, which is the Hellenic force in Cyprus. Now going back to the story, her father was in it and then he trained her with all the information she currently knows. Now it's not known if she'll be coming to Siege or not, but they did the exact same thing with Mira in the last patch. If you recall, they had a picture of Mira and Tachanka where she gave him some of his mirrors on his LMG. Now this time she's sitting with Glaz and she gave him a buff, so who knows, she might be coming, I don't know. Maybe it's with a bolt action sniper rifle that I and some of the community players have been wanting. Speaking of which, what do you guys think about a bolt action sniper rifle that kills kind of like the AWP in Counter-Strike? I know this is not Counter-Strike, don't kill me for saying it, but I'm just asking the question for discussion purposes. Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, the dev team noted that the thermal sights will allow vision through Capital smoke grenades and Smoke's gas canisters. Wow, that was a tongue twister there. I think this change will really help out Glaz. But what I really like about this whole thing is how easy it'll be to see spawn peekers. Nobody really spawn peeks in the Pro League, but it happens in ranked and casual all the time. And the players who do it consistently know the exact spot where your head will be when you run by there. So the attackers end up having this short amount of time to identify and kill the peeker. Now with this thermal scope, it'll be that much easier to identify the defender since he'll be glowing from all the body heat. I'm really excited about this change and best believe I will be bringing you sweet gameplay content for this in the future. So we already know that we're getting technical test servers, but they outlined one of the major things that they wanted to roll out on us. Coming up in a few weeks, they will be allowing us to test the new one-step matchmaking, which increases the stability overall. There really wasn't much said about this, and I assume that the technical test servers will be just general things, and that we won't be able to test out the new operators or maps because we all know that that builds up hype, and we know hype sells. So if we're able to test them out and give them the feedback before they're released, the hype will die down and then they won't make as much money. So don't expect anything crazy out of the tech test servers just yet. Another change we got is Doc is able to overheal to 140 HP instead of 120. It doesn't change the one kill headshot, but it does allow for him and others to take a few more shots, and as a Doc and Rook main, this makes me really happy. There are some times where Doc is better than Rook, but overall, Rook and his armor plates are the better choice. This change might make Doc more competitive than normal, but probably won't take the place of Rook because the armor plates protect from one kill explosions from grenades. And if you're a roamer, then you really want a Rook as opposed to a Doc, because the Doc is probably going to be at the objective while you're roaming on the other side of the map. And if you get hit by a grenade or you take a few shots, you know, the Doc's not going to be able to res you because you're all the way over there. I think this change is going to be awesome, and I cannot wait to see chat, you know, somebody spamming like, oh, you took 30 shots to the chest, Doc, what happened? Well, bro, I healed myself to 140, get wrecked, I'm the Terminator. Bug gets another magazine for a skeleton key, which allows for more open areas on floors and ceilings. This is a pretty great and simple change because I often find myself running out of ammo with it, especially on places such as Chalet and Canal. So last patch they tried to harmonize some of the weapon sights but totally fucked up the red dot, reflex, and hollow sights by either purposefully or accidentally increasing the reticle size. They were originally huge and then they reduced them last year, but then they reverted it back. Now we're going back once again to the smaller size. So maybe the reflex sight won't look like a giant green Eiffel Tower in the middle of your sights. The DMR's trigger rate has been reduced, which used to allow Buck to roll full auto mode with it. I kind of like this change, but it doesn't reward the players who are really good at mouse clicking. I didn't see too many Bucks using it in the upper ranks, but maybe they did and they wanted to go ahead and nerf it. Either way, it's in the game and we're gonna have to deal with it. Echo and his MP5 SD now have increased damage at medium range. The feedback that I have received and agree with has been the fact that his weapon doesn't do enough damage, and to add on to that, you don't get a compensator or flash hider, and it makes recoil a pain in the ass to control. The MP5 on Doc and Rook is one of the most used weapons in the game, and it probably caught the devs off guard a little because Echo isn't played that much. Hopefully with this change, he may see a slight increase in player usage, but in my opinion, Echo is only fun when you're trying to stop the diffuser plants with his yokai drone at the last 15 seconds of the round. Thermite and his 5.56 got an upgrade which allows the recoil to be more easily controlled. Thermite was already a great pick in ranked and the Pro League games, but his weapon did have a little bit too much recoil. I think with the reduced recoil, players will have an easier time winning those much needed peeking battles. And we got another Kure buff, guys. Kure got another damage drop off buff with her pistol. It will now do 35 damage at 18 meters instead of the 20 damage it previously had. This is a really nice buff because she has great potential now that she's a direct counter to Jackal. Now, even though her pistol headshots automatically down somebody no matter the range, unless they're repelling of course, it does reward the players who spray toward the target, you know, the people who can't aim. Now, instead of a damage buff, I would like to see a red dot on her pistol, and then they just made that her main weapon. Now, I know some of you gun buffs in the comments are gonna be like, Microwave, you cannot put that because it doesn't have a rail on top, and maybe they should just give her another pistol. I don't know. Now, I'm pretty sure we all saw this next one coming. Jackal and his C7E recoil has been increased. Before this patch, there was no reason to ever choose the PDW9 over the C7E because the recoil was just that good. Sure, the PDW had more rounds, but that's rarely ever a factor in the higher ranks where it's all about Titangles, boy, rather than emptying 50 rounds down a hallway to get that lucky ass headshot. This was an obvious change that needed to happen and we all knew it. Don't lie to yourself, you saw it coming. Capital got a recoil buff that makes his para 308 sway less from side to side. They originally increased it all, but then they listened to the pros and they agreed that it should be decreased. Now, I don't really play Capital that much, and if I do, I use the M249 for fun and clickbait videos, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know what it's like to fire it all day. Other improvements they had were the 0 points gained in ranked. This was already hotfixed because the community was so pissed by the other team abandoning and leaving the winning team with no points gained. Well, they fixed that and they brought back the abandon penalty for leaving the game. I'd like to give a big shout out to all the douchebags who left and ruined the ranked experience for a whole month. Players ended up not going to ranked because there was nothing to gain out of it because of all the levers. So queue times went from like 3 to 7 minutes on the West Coast all the way up to 15 to 20. That's crazy. So round of applause, guys. Round of applause. You got your elo. Thank you so much, and you can go fuck yourself. Oh, Blitz got a small buff. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the past month, let me tell you what's been going on. Basically, Blitz is the new Tachanka where the community wants a whole overhaul on him. Tons of videos and hashtags have been made showing their desire to buff Blitz. Well, he got one, but not in the form that I would like. He can now fire after he flashes, guys. It originally had a 2-second cooldown, but that's been removed. Now, honestly, I just want his shield to work. They've said they fixed it, but you can still die to an enemy emptying a magazine into your shield because your head clips through it. But that's just what I want. What do you guys want? Let me know in the comments below. Oh, another thing they fixed was the Montane Bug where he could fire a round while his shield was fully erect. But he still has that damn laser attached to his revolver. God, I hate that thing. Please remove it, Ubisoft. That's just my own opinion. I'm not speaking for the community here. It's just me. Please don't kill me, chat, for saying it. That's just my thoughts, okay? My thoughts. Anyways, I went over about 75% of the patch notes, and the other notes aren't really worth delving into. We didn't get a Hibana fix where her pellets randomly choose when to work like they're made from China, and we didn't get a fix for the geisha room on Skyscraper. We've also yet to receive that much needed dedicated servers for the player party instead of the P2P connection. But overall, it isn't that bad of a patch. I just really hope the game works this time. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Take it easy.
Op 4, last operator standing.
Bum 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 dun 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 dun. Ooh, fuck butt. Oh, we are the champions, my friend. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow.